All of our guests today sponsored by Skipper Auto, supporting Canadian fishing families through our revolutionary seafood buying experience. Check them out online at skipperauto.com. We also want to acknowledge our title sponsors, Able Auctions and the King of Floors. We've got Brent Sutter now, coach, GM, owner of the Red Deer Rebels, also Brandon Sutter's father. Brandon, like so many other Canucks, has COVID-19. He has 2 kids under 4. His wife is pregnant. And Brent has gone public with his concern for his son and his family after a FaceTime conversation on Sunday. Brent joining us now. Brent, I hope I got all of that right. Thanks so much for doing this. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, thank you.
How difficult was that FaceTime conversation on Sunday?
Well, to begin with, I didn't really go public with it. I got a call from Eric Francis in Calgary and just asked me what was going on, just saying a story on obviously the concern of the Canucks and stuff, and just asked if I could make a few comments on it and just questions he had for me. So, when we got informed Brandon had COVID, I mean, there was concern obviously from a parent standpoint, but you're concerned about everyone there, like all the players, the staff that has it within the coaches, and, obviously everybody's family. So that's the biggest worry I think every parent has that are dealing with their kids when they get COVID, and others that we know have had it in the past, but this one is a little bit different with the if it's reported what it's saying that it's the Brazilian variant. No one really knows much about it, so I'm sure every parent out there that has players or coaches that are infected by this, or people just in the general public, are concerned by it.
Have you talked to Brandon since then? Brandon, any update on his health or his family's health?
He still has it. He still has symptoms as of last night, I guess. We were playing, so he talked to his mom, and yes, he still has some symptoms and is feeling certain things, and his family right now is doing okay. They've they're doing all right. They obviously all have it, so it's just the quarantine inside the house and just getting through it.
Normally, when somebody who's a child of yours would get sick, you'd be able to help out, or
Yeah.
I know there's distance involved here, but how helpless do you feel as a parent, knowing that with COVID you can't go anywhere near Brandon?
Yeah, well, I think like any other, like I mentioned earlier, like anybody else that have had close ones to them that have gotten COVID through this period of time, that you're helpless because you can't really do much to help. And obviously in Brand's situation, with the young kids and with Giselle being pregnant, you wish you could be there and help out as any parent would, right? And I'm sure all the parents feel the same way with all the players there, and and their families. So, and the coaching staff too, and their families. So, yeah, I mean, it's certainly on your mind all the time, and you're just hoping everybody gets through it. And the most important thing right now is just everyone's well-being and their health, and see where it takes it down the road here.
Hey, Brent, I would say you also have 20-plus kids in Red Deer. You treat those kids as your son as well. Can you tell us how tough has this been for you at the Western Hockey League level, dealing with these young kids and this COVID as well?
It's been hard. Just the sense that you just certainly, we got back to playing, and what we're doing in Red Deer, being being in somewhat of a bubble or hub in. Just living out of the Centrum, and kids all living in suites and so forth. And, let's just say this, when testing is done on Wednesday, it's a sleepless night Wednesday night, because you don't get the results back till Thursday, and you wait for those results to come back and praying to God that everyone's been, is negative. And so far, so good. So just hopefully we can carry on that way. But you don't, with this new variant that's out there now, it's, obviously being so contagious, it's certainly worrisome. And, we just, like I said, you take it day to day and week to week, and try to get through this season. Our season will be over in Red Deer. It's over on May 7th. The league will be over, or our division will be over by no later than May 8th. So, every team has their concerns, no different than the BC division or the U.S. division or the Eastern division. We're all doing everything we can to try to avoid it and doing the best we can with all the protocols that are in place and everything we have to do. And hopefully we can all get through it. Unfortunately, Kelowna had got shut down. That was certainly a tough feeling, a tough day too. Feeling bad for Bruce and the Hamilton family and all the players there and the Rockets and staff and so forth. So we're all in this together. It doesn't matter. You feel like you're just one group, and you're just trying to make the best of it. So we'll see where it goes.
Hey, Brent, I've talked to a lot of junior coaches about mental illness. I mean, the kids, the mental side of it, all these 19, 20-year-olds. Do you get concerned sometimes about that aspect of it, Brent?
Absolutely. That was the biggest concern I had coming into this. And it was certainly somewhat evident when the kids got here. Just they were obviously excited to get back to playing, but the concern that they have is real, and the fact that what does their future hold in hockey, and and we had discussions about that before they ever came in amongst our staff, and we've had Zoom calls with the players before they came in, and then we've had meetings and so forth since they've been here, and some players have gotten help for through Zoom calls. But yeah, absolutely, it's a real thing, and it's like that anywhere. Though people have lost their jobs, businesses have shut down. It's a concern around the whole world, and it's something that I think early on it might have been somewhat overlooked, and then as it went on, and certain things were going on with businesses closing, like I mentioned, people losing jobs, and then the mental part certainly kicks in, and then as it drug on and went on in our industry in the hockey world, it was one full year until those players were able to get back to being able to play some meaningful games, or to expose themselves to the scouts, and so it certainly has been worrisome for everybody, and it doesn't matter at what level, and it doesn't matter in what business you're involved in. There's people that certainly have been affected by this.
Hey, Brent, back to Brandon. This could be a stressful time, what he's going through now. He's also got, he's a UFA. There's potential, teams are calling the Canucks about him. Are you worried about that aspect? Is there a chance he could be traded at the deadline? Are you looking at that as well as, it could be a stressful time for him as well?
Guys, right now it's everyone's health and everybody like that. The trade deadline and all that stuff is totally irrelevant right now. You have a hockey team with the Canucks that have a tremendous amount of players that have fallen ill because of this virus, and their family members, and also staff. So that's the number one concern. The trading deadline hasn't even, to be quite honest, I haven't even thought about that at all with Brandon or any player with the Canucks for that matter. And it's just, to me, it's about everyone's safety and health right now. And hey, we all understand, and we know the business side of it. We all get that, and we're all in that industry. We understand it and know it. But right now, these players, no one knows. No one knows how long it's going to take for them to recover. What kind of team, even if they do get back playing, can Jim and John put on the ice? What their coaching staff's going to look like. And no one knows any of that stuff right now. And I can tell you right now that Jim and John and ownership are more concerned about everyone's well-being right now, and just hoping everyone gets through it okay.
One more, Brent. Your team's accommodation is living at the Centrium at the arena, if I'm not mistaken, in Red Deer. What are the positives and negatives of that?
It's, I guess, from my standpoint and from an organizational standpoint, it's worked out as well as we could have expected it to. with obviously unusual circumstances, and we'd given our kids an opportunity of three scenarios. Either they could stay at the billets houses, which meant they could only be at the rink, and at the billets homes they couldn't see anybody or see any players once they left the rink, teammates, so forth, or be in a hotel, and basically the same thing. So, and then the option of staying at the rink, and it was unanimous amongst all the players that they wanted to stay at the rink. And when they made that decision, then we got busy as an organization, and a lot of people involved, people within our staff here, our billets, Western Park staff, sponsors that rent or lease the suites, communicating with them, and them all. I'm totally on board with doing whatever we need to do to get it back together. And the city of Red Deer, obviously, to do what they needed to do to help us through this. So it's been a team effort by everybody. The players have to get it back together, and the players have been absolutely awesome with it. There's not one thing that I can say negative from my standpoint about how the players have handled all this. They've been tremendously outstanding, great young men, been very professional about the whole process. And the on ice, what happens on the ice is something completely different than what's going on inside. How we have to manage things inside the building, and the kids have completely jumped on board totally with it, and I'm proud of them because it's not an easy situation, and they've handled it extremely well, as have all the players in the Western Hockey League and their teams getting back to playing.
Brent, thanks so much for this. All the best to you, Brandon, and your whole family, and the Rebels. Thanks so much.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.